we are covering Caitanya Charitamrta. Actually, we'll do it every Saturday. Caitanya Charitamrta, Adi Leela, beginning with preface. Gaudiya Vaishnava means followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, and his teachings are mainly concentrated in Chaitanya Charitamrta. Also, there are other books, but Chaitanya Charitamrta is most authoritative, and it's the main book of our ISKCON society, but not the book we preach from. We preach from Gita, then we relish Bhagavatam. But Chaitanya Charitamrta contains all the Gaudiya conclusions. So today, we are beginning with, before that, some more things. That there are other books like Chaitanya Mangala, then Chaitanya Manjusha, so many other books on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But this specifically, Chaitanya Charitamrita, covers in more detail the time after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's sannyas, when he had a lot of philosophical debates with different personalities in different sampradayas, different religions. And so it contains much more philosophical knowledge compared to others. Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur said that if all the books in the world were lost, but we had Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is no loss. It is the conclusions of the Vedas, of the topmost knowledge here. Okay, so beginning on preface, Chaitanya Charitamrita has 3 parts: Adi Leela, Madhya Leela, and Antya Leela. Adi Leela is, the whole thing is mostly like a preface of the work. Then Madhya Leela contains a lot of the teachings. Antya Leela is mostly in Puri, after his when he settles in Jagannath Puri, after his travels. And Madhya Leela contains his travel in South India. Okay, so beginning today on preface. The preface is written by Srila Prabhupada, founder of ISKCON, on the birthday of Lord Chaitanya. It's written here. At Sri Sri Radha Krishna Temple, New York, in 1968. Actually, if you know the story, Srila Prabhupada had written Bhagavad Gita. He was translating and commenting on Srimad Bhagavatam. But in between of that, while he was doing that, his disciples told him, please, can you comment on Chaitanya Charitamrita? So he stopped, and for a short time he commented on Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then he pushed his disciples to do it in 3 months. The proofreading, layout, printing, in 3 months is not possible, but they did it. Great personalities. So beginning, preface. There is no difference between the teachings of Lord Chaitanya presented here and the teachings of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. The teachings of Lord Chaitanya are practical demonstrations of Lord Krishna's teachings. So now in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives his shiksha. So some may think, I am reading Bhagavad Gita, that's it. Why should I read Chaitanya? Why should I read Bhagavatam? Actually, the conclusions are the same. But here it will say why we have to read Chaitanya Charitamrita and absorb the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The second sentence, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya are practical demonstrations of Lord Krishna's teachings. How are you going to live Bhagavad Gita? How can we live it? How can we? No, we cannot. It's not so easy. We don't know the Gita, then we learn the Gita. Now how to live it? Actually, we have to see a personality. Just like yesterday, that young boy came and spoke to me. He said that he read Gita, he read all the books, but he didn't associate with devotees. Then so much things were not still correct in his conclusions. Then I explained to him, you have to live with people who are living Gita, who are practicing it. And a new person will learn from another person. And that person, how did he learn? He learned from another person. So the devotee contact is essential. So here, Krishna came as a devotee. He came as a devotee to show us how to live the teachings which he gave. We know that Krishna comes once in a day of Brahma. There are 14 Manus. Then he comes under Vaivasvata Manu period. This time, when half of at a certain point of the Divya Yuga, when the day is half gone, almost. So we know about that, but no one knows about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He also comes, but no one knows. He's hidden. He'll also come. Krishna will come, Mahaprabhu will come and show you how to live Krishna's teachings. Lord Krishna's ultimate instruction in Bhagavad Gita is that everyone should surrender unto him. Lord Krishna sent unto him, Lord Krishna. Krishna promises to take immediate charge of such a surrendered soul. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches, worship only Krishna. And he debated and defeated everyone who did not worship Krishna. But not only but worship Krishna, but worship in the Madhurya Bhav, worship based on Bhagavatam, whatever our conclusions are. He debated with everyone, and same as our Srila Prabhupada. Practically, and Prabhupada quoted his guru, Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Anyone who did not follow the Gaudiya exactly of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's conclusions, he debated with them and defeated and established this is the path. This is the only path. There is no other path to take us back to Krishna in Goloka, in Shyam Sundar's form, in the Vrindavan. So that is the conclusions of Gita is, give up everything, surrender to me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, he went practically, he debated with other Vaishnava Sampradayas, he debated even with Muslims, Buddhists, empiricists, Jnanis, Mayavadis, everyone. And how he defeated, the verses are there, and his debates, the points he used are there. He told them how this is the topmost. The Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is already in charge of the maintenance of this creation by virtue of his plenary expansion, Shirodakshai Vishnu. But this maintenance is not direct. So we are told, you surrender to Krishna, he'll take charge of everything. Actually, Krishna is already in charge of everything through Shirodakshai Vishnu, the third expansion, by which he's entered into every atom, every living entity, and every planet. Prabhupada writes in a purport of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, he entered these three items, and then even in Bhagavad Gita he says, Vishtabhyaham idam Krishnam ekang shena stito jagat. I have pervaded and supporting the whole universe by one of my small part, not me. My expansion of one small part of me is doing all that. So how great is Krishna if that part of his is supporting the whole material creation, which is a quarter. However, when the Lord says that he takes charge of his pure devotee, he actually takes direct charge. The devotee, as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, he comes under the spiritual energy. Devotees, everyone in the material world, they are under Devim Prakritim. They are under Devi Maya, the divine energy of Maya, consisting of the three modes. Devi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duradya. So they come under that, and so their existence, their knowledge, their happiness, lack of happiness is due to Maya. But the devotee comes under the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Supreme Personality of Godhead, his energies are divided into three. I mean, his spiritual energy is this Hladini, Sandini, Samvit, Tvai, Eka, Sarva, Samshaya. The three energies, happiness, existentiality and knowledge. Hladini, Sandini, Samvit, they are contained in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tvai, Eka, Sarva, Samshaya. He has no guna. We have guna. We are infected by guna. But it says that Hladini, Tapa, Kari, Mishra, Tvai na guna varjita. The guna is not in you. It says in Vishnu Purana, Supreme Personality. So, when we come under the internal energy of Krishna, we come under these three energies. That means our existence is supported by Sandini, knowledge by Samvit, and happiness, Hladini. These things, Satchidanand, we become Satchidanand as a result. So, pure devotee, he comes under these energies. A pure devotee is a soul who is forever surrendered to the Lord, just as a child is surrendered to his parents, or an animal to its master. Example of surrender, because we may think, I am surrendered, I am surrendered. Surrender means child, it'll, mother is carrying the child, you'll just fall asleep. You cannot sleep somewhere unless you are feeling safe, isn't it? So the child falls asleep in the mother's arms and is surrendered to the parent, that whenever danger comes, he runs to the mother. He doesn't think, will the mother protect me? That mad dog is coming, running after me. How can my mother protect me? The child is looking for the mother. I'll go to mother will protect. So that kind of surrender. Another example is given, animal to its master. The animal, how does animal surrender to the master? That even if you kill the animal, he'll watch you killing him. He'll accept. Even if you beat your pet dog to death, he'll not protest. He'll not attack you for that. He'll just complain. That's, There's one Vaishnava bhajan. Sarvasva Tomar Charane Sampiya. Bhaktivinoda Thakur singing that Tumi to Thakur, Tumara Kukur, I am your dog, let me become your dog. Vaishnava Thakur, let me become your dog. I will be tied outside your house. I'll eat whatever you don't eat. Whatever your remains, I'll eat it. And I'll protect anyone from coming to you. And this will be my greatest bliss. So anyway, he's giving that analogy. Because that a dog has that quality, so it's always used as an analogy for a devotee, how he takes shelter of the Supreme. How we have to take shelter of the Supreme. Oh, his representatives. When we talk about surrender, there's a verse which is paraphrased here. In the surrendering process, there are 6 things. First is, accept things favorable for discharging devotional service. While surrendering, we are told, okay, you have to eat this, sleep here. It's so difficult, but that is something to accept. When we are on the process of surrender, we accept things which we see, this is good for bhakti, we'll take it. Or we are in a place, it's very cold, it's very difficult to live there, But it's this place, whatever, is situated, it's favorable for devotion, so we'll accept it. So accept things which are favorable for devotional service. 2, reject things which are unfavorable. Supposing we have some habit, the habit of sleeping so much, that this is not good for bhakti, so we'll give it up. Oh, but I like it, but it's not good for bhakti, and we are in the process of surrender. So whatever is not good, we don't like, but we'll accept it. We accept it. So this is the second point. First is accepting things which are favorable. 2, rejecting things which are not favorable. Next, always believe firmly in Krishna's protection. So sometimes people tell her, okay, so you're in the ashram, okay, you're surrendered to Krishna, okay, do you have any savings? Someone asked me, do you have savings? My savings there. You have savings, you have money. What will happen to you in future? People say that. So, but we are taking the protection of Krishna. Firmly we accept Krishna's view. And if we make so many other arrangements, that means we are taking protection of Krishna, then the money, then this, and there's so many things. That's not faith that Krishna will protect. That is not the faith. Number 4, feel exclusively dependent on the mercy of the Lord. An example is given in this verse, in one example Prabhupada gave, is how someone is working for someone and he's depending on that mercy, like the boss is giving the money. And another example is given like the wife to the husband. I don't know, that you can't use nowadays. It's different kind of relations. But it's supposed to be that the wife is fully not thinking, oh, what about my money? What about my degree? I have to work and get money. What will happen to my future if my husband doesn't support me? And I have to learn English and get a job. So, no, the idea is husband will support. I'm dependent on the mercy. I'm fully dependent. So when we, in the process of surrender, we say, okay, I'm fully dependent on Krishna. And whatever he sends, I'll take it. He doesn't send. That is the same as the last verse of Shikshashtaka. You know that verse? Yeah? The last verse of Shikshashtaka, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, "Oh my Lord, Krishna, let's see here. Anyway, the Sanskrit, Ashlishya vapadaratam pinashtumam adarshanam mahatam karotuva yatha tata vidahatu lampato matprana nathastu sa eva napara." Oh my Lord Shri Krishna, you are my eternal servant. And I have surrendered to you fully at your lotus feet. Ashlisha vapadaratam pinashtumam. Now, you may embrace me, because this is the gopis in the mood of Madhurya Bhava. Mahaprabhu is in that mood. He said, you may embrace me, Ashlisha vapadaratam pinashtumam, or you may reject me, stamp on me, and ignore me. Still I'm your eternal servant. And actually Lampat is something like, actually they're not giving that very deep esoteric meaning, but it's something like someone who's having someone else, married but associating with someone else. So this is in the mood of the gopis, that I'm fully surrendered to you, and you can do whatever you want to me. So anyway, here it says there, that one should be fully dependent on the Lord's mercy, that we fully accept His mercy in whatever He may give or not give. Next, have no interest separate from the interests of the Lord. That what is my aim? My aim is what is Krishna's aim. What do I want to do? What does Krishna want? I'll do that. Okay, now we may say I'm not so surrendered to Krishna, but then it comes Guru, Sri Guru. So we can say, what does Prabhupada want? Oh, our Guru. Have no interest separate from interest of the Lord. Number 6, always feel oneself meek and humble. Meek and humble. So these are the Shadvidha Sharanagati, the 6 ways how we come to surrender to the Supreme Lord. It's not easy process. Actually, I was always told, give lecture within your realization. Not because I didn't surrender fully. We are in the process, but I'm repeating what I'm saying here. So continuing here, that Prabhupada is speaking about how Mahaprabhu taught to surrender to Krishna, and this is the ways of surrender. Now, next paragraph. The Lord demands that one surrender unto Him by following these 6 guidelines, but the unintelligent so-called scholars of the world misunderstand these demands and urge the general mass of people to reject them. Scholars, they want to study and study and study and discuss and study, but they'll not follow. They'll not follow. They'll just discuss and study and research and write a PhD and do a seminar, but they'll not say. So Mahaprabhu saying, to surrender, we conclude that we must surrender to Mahaprabhu. That is very clear, but they'll not say that. They have other goals. So scholars, we reject scholars, their interpretations, unless they're devotional scholars. At the conclusion of the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna directly orders, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me alone and offer obeisances unto me. By so doing, the Lord says, one is sure to go to Him in His transcendental abode. If you just fill your consciousness with me, worship me, offer obeisance to me, become my devotee, then we'll go to the Lord. But the scholarly demon, asura means one who is not a devotee. Scholarly demons misguide the masses of people by directing them to surrender not to the personality of Godhead, but rather to the impersonal, unmanifest, eternal, unborn truth. We don't know the background, but Srila Prabhupada, he uses purports, preface, forward, introduction of Gita to blast certain people. He's not saying their names, but he's destroying their philosophical conclusions. The impersonalist Mayavadi philosophers do not accept that the ultimate aspect of the absolute truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is due to envy. Due to envy we came here. Envy, Irshya, started with being envious of the Supreme. Now we are envious of devotees. We are envious of everyone, everything, everyone else. But it started with envy of God. So now we don't want to surrender to God. If one desires to understand the sun as it is, one must first face the sunshine, then the sun globe. And then, if one is able to enter into the sun globe, one may come face to face with the predominating deity of the sun. Common analogy Prabhupada gives for surrendering to the personality of Godhead. Coming first, you have to understand his all-pervading energy as Brahman, then his personal localized form inside us. Then you understand the personality himself. However, due to a poor fund of knowledge, having no knowledge, the Mayavadi philosophers cannot go beyond the Brahman effulgence, which may be compared to the sunshine. We said actually, to know the sun, you have to know the sunshine, the sun planet, then the personality who is causing that effulgence. Vivaswan. So similarly, to know God, yes, we have to understand Brahman, you have to go deep understand the form within us, then the personality. However, Mayavadis cannot go beyond that Brahman effulgence. That is not knowledge of God. It's partial realization. We have to go beyond that. Actually, Vaishnavacharya, they reject this whole Brahman idea. But we are Achintya Veda Veda Tattva. Yes, we accept. It is a truth, but partially. But now find out about the person. You think the energy light create, how can light create? Here's light. How can it create anything? Can it manage? This light is managing. Light. You need intelligence. You need some level of knowledge, isn't it? So we cannot say the whole cause of this material manifestation is the light. Worship the light. And then they put the light and worship. Then what happens when the power goes? Then the light goes off. Then what will you worship? We went to Brahma Kumari. So I have to. Anyway, I said already. We went, they called us Gita, appearance day of Bhagavad Gita. Not last, the one before. They invited me. So then they took me in the temple. Then I looked around, I saw the light. I wanted to ask them, what happens when the power goes? I didn't ask. Then what will you worship? Maybe they put a candle. Oh, they put a generator. Anyway, that's their problem. So, okay, the Upanishads confirm that one has to penetrate the dazzling effulgence of Brahman before one can see the real face of the personality of Godhead. In Yajurveda, there is one Upanishad called Isha Upanishad. And there it says, the prayer that, O Supreme Lord, your form is covered by this light. Hiranmayena Padrina Satyasya Pihitam Mukham. Your face is hidden by this light. I'm not able to see you because of the light. Tattvam Purshna Pavarno Satya Dharmaya Drishtaye. Please reveal yourself. Remove this light. Let me see your personality to your devotee. So the Upanishads, Shruti, accepts that beyond the Brahma Jyoti there is a personality. You have to understand one thing. Here we are talking about teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu is presenting teachings of Vaishnavism, and a lot of the points, two things are there when we are preaching. Prem Pracharan Ara Parshan Dalan. Two things. Nityananda Prabhu preached the absolute truth, but he subdued the atheists. Parshan Dalan. Dalan, one another meaning of Dalan is beating, So Nityananda Prabhu, he subdued, he removed the wrong conclusions. So here, now we are discussing about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but simultaneously as the teachings are going, Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not only are spreading Vaishnava principles, but always bashing Mayavad and rubbishing it, which is rubbish. Okay, then Lord Chaitanya therefore teaches us to direct worship of Lord Krishna, who appeared as the foster child of the king of Vraja. Which Krishna? Foster child. We also have Krishna in Dwarka, but we are focusing on Krishna in Vrindavan. Foster child. You know this foster? Adopted. He was adopted. His father was Vasudeva. Vasudev, and Nanda Maharaj was his adopted father. He also teaches that the place known as Vrindavan is as good as Lord Krishna, because Lord Krishna, being the absolute truth, there is no difference between him, his name, quality, form, pastimes, entourage, and paraphernalia. That is the absolute nature of the personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya also teaches the highest mode of worship in the highest perfectional stage is the method practiced by the damsels of Vraja. These damsels, or gopis, cowherd girls, simply love Krishna without any motive for material or spiritual gain. When we go, especially we can anywhere, but now particularly let's say in North India, Uttar Pradesh, the villages there. Because Krishna appeared in Vrindavan, Brihad Bhagavatamrita says that culture is most refined in Bharatvarsha. Within Bharatvarsha, culture is most refined in Aryavarta, the area in where Ganga and Yamuna is flowing. We can say Uttar Pradesh, that area. And within that area, culture is most refined in Mathura area. And in Mathura, in Vrindavan, in Govardhan, Radhakund. So, if we observe there, just see the village life, how it is. They'll go, they'll have a farm, then they'll take care of the cows. Actually, this is all over India. Then the cow will pass to, they'll take the stool, they'll use it for cooking, put it on the wall to dry, to later to use for cooking. And so now if you go there, you see that the village girl is kind of like the most insignificant person. Who knows? Who knows about them? Someone is there cooking, no one will know. But the mode of worship when Krishna came, how the gopis worshipped him, that is considered the highest. That they will do their simple things, they will not have any great wealth, knowledge. They don't have knowledge, they don't have degrees, they don't know how to do anything. They'll just take care of the house so nicely, milk the cow, manage all these things. So they're not considered so great, generally, materially speaking. But the way of their worship is considered the highest when Krishna appeared. So just now what we read, this paragraph. Oh yeah, Lord Chaitanya also teaches Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless narration of transcendental knowledge, and the highest goal in human life is to develop unalloyed love for Krishna. This whole paragraph is just paraphrasing one verse, which gives the essence of the Gaudiya Siddhanta. Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya Tadhama Vrindavanam. That Aradhya, the worship should be to Vrajesha. Vrajesh means the Lord of Vraja. Who's the king of Vraja? Don't say Krishna. Yeah, Nanda Maharaj. Now, Krishna is the son of the king. Vrajesha Tanaya Tadhama Vrindavanam. We worship Krishna, son of Nanda, and Vrindavan. Then Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadu Vargena Vakalpita. And what is very dear to the worship, what is Krishna like? Ramya Kachid. Ramya Kachid Upasana. Upasana, way of worship is Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajavadu Vargena Vakalpita. The way of the worship of the gopis. And then it says Srimad Bhagavatam Paramanam Amalam Prema Pumartha Mahan. And how are you going to get this knowledge and this level of surrender and the mood? Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam, the spotless Purana of Srimad Bhagavatam will give us that. And what should be our goal? The goal is to attain love of Krishna. Prema Puma Artho Mahan. The greatest goal is not to merge into Brahman, not to become free from cycle of birth and death, not to get a good birth. The greatest goal is to get love of God. That is our goal. Where will we be? That doesn't matter. We may be, hopefully we'll be in, liberation is not really the goal. It's getting love of God. Then we may come back here, wherever we may be. Prema Pamartha Mahan, Shri Chaitanya Matamidam Tatradara Napara. This is the opinion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There is nothing else. These things I mentioned. This is the essence of Gaudiya Vaishnava practices and sadhana and philosophy. Lord Chaitanya's teachings are identical to those given by Lord Kapila, the original propounder of Sankhya Yoga, the Sankhya system of philosophy. So actually Caritamrta is meant to be read after Bhagavatam. We have to understand that. This is mentioning about Lord Kapila. This authorized system of yoga teaches meditation on the transcendental form of the Lord. There is no question of meditating on something void or impersonal. So the Sankhya, which is given by Lord Kapila, the son of Devahuti, teaches meditation on the transcendental form of the Lord, the Lord's form. Now, you may say, what about some people who worship the impersonal and meditate on the impersonal? Here, Prabhupada is saying there is no question of meditating on something impersonal. Think of nothing. Are you thinking? Now meditate on that. Generally, if you say, people laugh. It's a strange thing. Meditate on the impersonal. This is the highest. They see that we have a body form. This is not good. Now you're saying Krishna has a form. Like us, he's limited because he has a form. No, transcendental form. So no question of going to meditate on an impersonal. When one can meditate on the transcendental form of the Lord, Vishnu, even without practicing involved sitting postures and meditation, this is called perfect samadhi. Actually, people worship the Supreme by meditating on His form, sitting in different postures, asana. But the highest is when you can do that even without the asana. Always thinking of Vishnu. Prabhupada has given us how to do that. Daily activities of cooking, hearing Bhagavatam, and book distribution, reading, cleaning. All of this helps us to meditate. If we can do this the whole day, this is samadhi. This kind of meditation is perfect samadhi, as confirmed at the end of the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna says that of all yogas, the greatest is the one who constantly thinks of the Lord within the core of his heart with love and devotion. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1 to 6, different yoga systems are given, which is described as a yoga ladder, progressively higher forms of yoga. So the conclusion of that section of the yoga systems is that the highest system of yoga is when somebody always thinks of Krishna. Madgaten antar atmanam. Inside himself, he's always thinking of Krishna. Because when we think of Krishna, that second we are not in Maya. When we forget Krishna, we're in Maya. So one who's always thinking of Krishna, he's not in Maya, he's on the spiritual level. If we can practice always thinking of Krishna, and that may be Krishna, maybe Bhagavad Gita verses. Initially it's like that. We think of the verses of Gita, we think of our preaching mission, how to carry out the mission of the Prabhupada, how to improve our sadhana. This is what we think. But later when we advance, we directly think of Krishna. But right now we are not on the level. So this is the system of sadhana bhakti, where we are given a system by which it's called forced remembrance of Krishna. By force, remember, wake up, Mangalarati, cooking, hearing class. So we think of Krishna somehow, by force. But later, automatically we'll think of him. This is perfect samadhi. When we can think of Krishna, on our own mind is always going to Krishna. So that is the acharyas, nature of the acharyas. Okay, we have come almost to time now, so any question? 3-4 minutes.
So we are doing service that time, we are always focusing on that service only. That time we fully forgot about Krishna.
Yeah, but then of course we have our reading. Okay, and it's good to remember, because if you don't, I remember reading in a book called Renunciation Through Wisdom, where Prabhupada wrote articles in Bengali for Back to Godhead. They've been translated to English and put in that book. So there Prabhupada says that if we do seva for Krishna without thinking of him constantly, then it becomes karma yoga. It's not bhakti. in one way that is also bhakti. We are doing it for Krishna, all glory is great, but it's not the same. So if our consciousness is on Krishna, it's better. Therefore, in that verse, which is supposed to be the essence of teachings of Gita, Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhya, there Krishna says, first, Manmana. What does that mean? No, Manmana means think of me. Then become my devotee. He doesn't say become my devotee first. He says think of me. Why? The previous acharyas, they comment on that verse. They said that we shouldn't be like the servant. Servant is doing very nice work, but his mind is, I get my salary, I'll enjoy it, you know. He's doing very nice, very efficient, very clean, people like his work, but the mind is not there. So Krishna says, I don't want that kind of mind, that kind of devotee. I want that your mind should be on me while you're doing your work. So therefore he says, Manmana, think of me, then become my devotee. First is to think of him. So we have to think of him. How? One way is you every day remember one verse, chant that verse, remember it. Another is in the morning, you just read one shloka of Gita in purport and you think of that, the whole day you think of that. This is how we can think of Krishna, the whole day. But yeah, we need to do that, somehow remember. That's why we have class and all these things. And reading, reading. Okay, now 3, 4 minutes. I'll read one more paragraph. On the basis of Sankhya philosophy of Achintya Beda Beda Tattva, which maintains the Supreme Lord, that the Supreme Lord is simultaneously one with and different from his creation, Lord Chaitanya taught that the most practical way for the mass of people to practice Sankhya Yoga meditation is simply to chant the holy name of the Lord. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has propounded the Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. Okay, and that says that the Supreme Lord, of course these are high topics, some of you don't know, but at least you should get some idea once a week. Okay, this darshan or system of philosophy that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu propounded, how to view the Vedas, how to interpret them, Achintya Beda Beda Tattva, it says that the Supreme Lord is simultaneously one with and different from his creation. Therefore Krishna is not different from this creation, but he is different. We came out of Krishna, so we are Krishna, but we are not. So that is the idea. So Lord Chaitanya taught that, on that basis, Lord Chaitanya taught that the most practical way for the mass of people to practice Sankhya Yoga is meditate on the name of the Lord. Because since everything of the Lord is not different from him, even the name of Krishna is not different from him. So we can just chant his name. Abhinatva Nama Namino. So the Supreme Lord taught that the holy name of the Lord is the sound incarnation of the Lord, and since the Lord is the Absolute, there is no difference between his holy name and his transcendental form. It's the same. Thus, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can directly associate with the Supreme Lord by sound vibration. As one practices chanting this sound vibration, one passes through 3 stages of development. Now we are talking about chanting name, and the philosophy associated with chanting is called Nama Tattva. This is very developed in Gaudiya Sampradaya. In Gaudiya Sampradaya, they have deep understanding, because of the 6 Goswamis, about chanting the holy name, how to remove the offenses, how to advance. So here it says there are 3 stages. First is offensive stage. What is that called? Namaprad. The offensive stage, clearing stage, and transcendental stage. So Namaprad, Namabhas, and Shuddhanam. We are chanting now, but with offenses. So we are not getting the taste. We are not able to fully get the benefit. Namabhas means offenses have gone, cleared. Then the taste starts coming, the perfection. Then Shuddhanam is at the end. In the offensive stage, the chanting, one may desire all kind of material happiness. But in the second stage, one becomes clear of all material contamination. Now we are chanting, but we are not fully surrendered. We are not able to be happy just by bhakti. Like me, I have to have some good food. I cannot, I'm chanting, I'm happy, but I also have to have good food. I cannot. Otherwise, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, he was having just one tablespoon of buttermilk. It's enough. Or taking the rice which no one has, it's thrown outside Jagannath temple. Cows are not eating it, it's rotting, he'll eat that. But I'm not like that. I still have to have some nice comfort. I should become pure and not desire that. When one is situated on the transcendental stage, one attains the most coveted position, the stage of love of God. When we reach the higher stage of japa, chanting, then we get the love of Krishna. Lord Chaitanya taught that this is the highest stage of perfection. The highest stage for the jiva is to come to the stage where he awakens his love for God. Love of God, just like you have a magnet. The magnet, north and south magnet, attracts to each other naturally. So naturally the jiva is attracted to Krishna. And when he reaches that position, that is the highest position, he's most happy, he's peaceful, he's connected to God, and everything is provided for him. But he doesn't understand that. This is the highest stage. They're looking for higher things in this material world. It's not possible. Shri Chaitanya Caritamrta ki jai. Okay, Guru Puja. Is it ready? It should be ready when you